Ground covers are a very useful plant and there are lots of options to choose from, so I thought we'd just spend a few minutes today talking about some of the different options and the benefits of ground covers, etc. And yeah, very useful as a weed suppressant, and of course it makes it look nice and tidy as well. So there's a few different things to consider when you're choosing ground covers. One is how hardy are they, and in this video we're looking at 6 very hardy ground cover options. In another video we do have some more tender varieties, so we'll go through those separately, but thought we'd start with the hardy ones today. And then secondly is how well do they suppress the weeds. So as I go through each of the ground covers we've got here, we'll talk a little bit about that. If you watch one of my other videos or a couple of other videos, you'll know I am very passionate about using mulch, particularly as a and particularly instead of weed mat, which is just something you don't want to use in your gardens at all. I read an interesting article a few days ago about someone who suggested that mulch is not really a good option and ground cover plants should be used solely instead, which there's certainly don't disagree with that, but when you're planting small ground covers you do need mulch around them just until they get established and start providing their own weed cover. And then secondly there is some of these ground covers like this one here, which has got a much more open leaf form and branch form, and that will let weed seeds fall down between the branches, and if there's enough light can get in and moisture, etc., then those weeds will germinate, and that can have its own complications when you're trying to weed them, because they can be quite difficult to get at down through the branches of the ground cover to actually get the roots out. So yeah, you do have to be careful of that. But in saying that, let's take a look at these ground covers I've got here today. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to go through, I've got 4 different Coprosmas here. So I've got Coprosma Taiko, Coprosma Hawera, Coprosma kirkii and Coprosma Red Rocks. So they are all obviously of the same genus, Coprosma, and they are also pretty much the same species. They're all Coprosma acerosa, or variants of that. So they all have similar characteristics and they're all very tough. You can walk on them for the most part and they're hardy, and they will spread very well. So but like I say, all have a similar growth habit, so it's they're all good options to choose from. So we'll work through these one by one. So this one here is Coprosma Taiko, so lovely variety. It's got dark green leaves and quite a distinct shape to the branches. So this one actually originated from the Chatham Islands. It was a selection from the Chatham Islands and it was named after a endangered bird species there, so it's quite a cool one to have in your garden. This is Coprosma Hawera, so very common one used in New Zealand. It's got yellowy green leaves, and this one particularly, where I've seen it used and in mature form, it builds up to a beautiful mound shape. So you can see a lot of ground covers will keep putting down new roots as they spread outwards, but these Coprosmas all come from a single stem, which you can see in there. So it kind of grows, that single stem kind of grows up like this, and it will get to, could even get to half a metre high. So it's not a totally flat ground cover, but it is very cool. That centre stem will grow up and it just spreads out like a very wide flat tent sort of thing, and the effect when you've got several of these planted in a group, they're like rolling mounds, rolling hills. So yeah, it's very, very cool. This one here is Coprosma kirkii. So this is actually a cross between Coprosma acerosa and Coprosma repens. You can see a slightly glossier and bigger leaf, much bigger leaf than these other ones here. Again, quite popular. It is a very old cultivar, so it kind of comes and goes as far as popularity goes, but yeah, it is still a good version. You can quite see that centre stem there. So yeah, it's another good one. This one here is Coprosma Red Rocks. Now this one is extremely popular. It has got a beautiful red, bronze, coppery sort of foliage there. So that's, yeah, really nice and goes really well in modern landscaping gardens. Really good against green. Pull this next one out here, you can see how those two colours go together really well. So yeah, this is a fantastic one. Like I say, used a lot in modern gardens. But whereas the Coprosma Hawera forms a really dense mat, you can see how close together those leaves and branches are. This one is much more open. So with the red rocks, I'd definitely be using a mulch underneath it and be reapplying that mulch every 12 months just to keep those weeds down underneath, because yeah, you start getting weeds coming up through this, it's going to be a real nightmare to get rid of them. So then move on to a couple of others. So all of these, by the way, are New Zealand natives. Obviously all the Coprosmas. Scleranthus biflorus is this one, which is apparently also native to Australia as well as New Zealand. So, but yeah, this is a really cool one. Again, comes from a single stem. A little bit hard to see under there, but yeah. But even that single stem, as it grows out, they will put down some new shoots, new roots down into the ground. So this is a fantastic one. It likes a good amount of moisture, so don't let it dry out. And it does need to be well draining, and it needs to be in full sun, because if you don't look after it, brown spots will start appearing in these sort of individual little branches here on this plant, and yeah, you end up with a big mound and it's full of brown spots. That's a pretty good indication that it's probably dried out or something of the sort. So, but yeah, this is another really nice mounding plant. Makes those nice wavy mounds, which looks really cool. So, and it's a really nice bright green colour. So if you're looking for some extra pop of colour in your garden, it's a good option. And lastly here we have Leptinella Platts Black. I'm assuming that was named after one of New Zealand's renowned plantsmen, Graham Platt, selection he took. And you can see that the leaves, although they're not black, they do have a definite dark brown tinge to them compared to some of the other Leptinellas that are just straight green. So it is a really nice one. It seems to go through varying shades of very dark brown and green, but yeah, fantastic plant. So this one here is definitely one that creeps along the ground and continues to put down new roots wherever it touches the ground. So this here is just a mat of roots that it's putting down all the time. So yeah, another really good one. This will just keep going, and yeah, very tough, hardy ground cover. This will be a really good one for situations like between flagstones, paving stones, that type of thing. And yeah, basically can't kill the stuff, so another good option. So yeah, a few different options of ground covers there. Like I say, we will go through some of the other varieties we've got in another video, but trust that was helpful, and yeah, see you next time. Cheers.